a miner suddenly discovered a huge crack unexpectedly appeared at the top of the mining cave. He was directly stunned. Here, dozens of miners are working. Once the mine collapses, the consequences will be unimaginable. He quickly returned, tell everyone about the danger situation, but by this time, the mining cave had already begun to vibrate violently. Gravel also keeps falling from the cracks. Then some areas began to collapse. The security inspector panicked and returned to the rest area and gathered everyone to quickly evacuate by mining truck. Go to the emergency shelter 700 meters underground. Meanwhile, other work areas have also started large-scale landslides. The miners began to flee for their lives. When two escape vehicles intersect, the security inspector asked them to quickly turn around and head for the underground shelter, but the speed of the other party far exceeded their imagination. Not long after, the miners slowly woke up from the darkness. But what they didn't expect was a huge stone weighing up to 100 meters and weighing about 700,000 tons completely sealed the exit. Trying to escape from here, it's just a silly dream. This plunged everyone into deep despair. Fortunately, after being counted by the security inspector, 33 miners, a lot of them, all survive, but all exits are blocked. The security inspector can only appease everyone, patiently waiting for rescue, but the leader is unwilling to sit idly by. He brought a few brothers with him. Division of labor and cooperation, several people knocking on the pipeline. I hope to transmit the sound to the ground. The foreman climbed up the flue with a forklift to find the exit, but it never occurred to him. Miners aimed to save costs. The ladder in the flue was only half repaired. This undoubtedly gave the miners who had just seen a glimmer of hope another death sentence. Meanwhile, the mining accident has attracted widespread attention from society. Family members also rushed to the scene, but what chilled them was, until it gets dark, the mine owner also did not appear or take any rescue measures. Just let the security guard pass the message. Let the family members go home or wait for news. He even threatened to drive away with a gun. Facing threats, family members are naturally fearless. Desperate and helpless protests were launched one after another. For the father of the child, and the only pillar of the family, strive for rescue. Mining Minister Jack reported this news to the president, but the presidential secretary believes that collapsed mines belong to private enterprises. The government should not and has no obligation to take over, but Jack argued with reason. After a mine collapse, due to limited local rescue conditions, the mine owner did not take any effective measures. Not only are there 33 fresh lives buried underground, but it involves the fate of dozens of families and the hope of life. If even the government gives up, how can they gain the trust of the people in the future? This is not a matter of obligation or right or wrong, but morality and responsibility. Fortunately, the president adopted Jack's suggestion, and he was also appointed as the rescue commander-in-chief. But when he learned about the situation with the mine owner, but was informed by the mine owner, even rescue efforts are futile. This is a century-old mine. In the 25 years he took over, there have been 5 mining accidents, and they haven't even rescued a single person. But Jack didn't listen to the miner's choice to give up, because he firmly believes, as long as you work hard, miracles are bound to occur, and his confidence and strength. It is precisely the support from the country, and a pair of desperate and hopeful eyes. Soon, the professional rescue team led by geologist Lau Bida also arrived as scheduled. Based on current understanding, the entire mine is about 700 meters deep, and the miners are all working at the bottom. But the main passage was blocked by this boulder weighing 700,000 tons. The only way is to drill, but because the mine is too deep, even if they don't stop day and night, without considering the deviation of the drill bit, it will take at least 8 days, but the food in the shelter can only last for up to 3 days. That is to say, the difficulty of rescue is unprecedented, the probability of success is less than 1%, and fast. Meanwhile, the miners also started to fight fiercely due to food issues. Fortunately, it was promptly stopped by the foreman. Now everyone is buried alive, and these are the only mistakes that everyone makes to survive. Only reasonable distribution to persist until rescue, but the security inspectors are not so indifferent. So far, they didn't hear the sound of drilling. Moreover, it took near 100 years for this mine to reach this location, and the mine owner won't spend money to rescue everyone. Otherwise, he wouldn't have only installed half of the chimney ladder. Following the style of the mine owner, 3 days later, they will close the mine. Hey, on this, he should be called 2 or 3 years old. Sorry, whose is that? The leader's firm belief, infecting everyone, and hand over the food to him for unified distribution. In the face of disasters, not only food and water are missing, more importantly a person with leadership skills is needed to maintain order and encourage. Under the leadership of the foreman, a bottle of milk is evenly divided into 33 parts, plus a small biscuit. This is their daily food. Subsequently, they took down the car battery, connect to emergency light. The pitch-black mine finally received a glimmer of light, and Mining Minister Jack also mobilized professional equipment to start the rescue. All family members cheered and cheered, excited, but never expected. The drilling progress has been greatly hindered. It turned out that the drill bit hit a hard rock, resulting in consecutive scrapping of drill bits. This undoubtedly increases the difficulty of rescue efforts. To appease the emotions of family members, the government is building tents near the mining area, setting up a cafeteria. They will do their best, never abandon or give up any glimmer of hope. Time has arrived on the 8th day. The miners have run out of food left. Now we can only get a small spoonful of canned food and a little filtered water every day. On the 12th day, good news has finally arrived. At this point, the drill bit is only 6 meters away from the shelter. This is an exciting moment, and the miners were thrilled to hear the sound of drilling in close proximity. Everyone is cheering and preparing to welcome the arrival of new life, but it never occurred to them The sound of drilling is getting quieter and quieter. Originally, there was a deviation in the drill bit, dripped under the shelter, so everyone who had just ignited hope fell to the bottom again. Negative and hopeless emotions instantly permeated the entire shelter. They are well aware of the current situation in their hearts. It took the rescue team 12 days to get here, and they won't be able to survive for another 12 days. At this time, the rescue team was also extremely disappointed. They realized that the drilling position had deviated by a full 10 meters. For everyone who has been waiting hard, undoubtedly, it's all a painful blow. Time has arrived on the 17th day. The foreman took out the last box of canned food and mixed it with water. I just hope everyone can take an extra sip, because this is their last meal. Long-term hunger is causing people to hallucinate. The family who had been thinking about it day and night brought them delicious food. Everyone gathered around the dining table, enjoying the long-lost and happy life. But soon they were brutally brought back to reality. As the last bite of food is eaten, everyone's tense emotions have also relaxed. Here, besides accepting fate, there is no longer any room for improvement. I don't know how long it took. The foreman was suddenly awakened by water droplets. As he slowly opened his eyes, the scene in front of him was like a dream that made him unbelievable. I saw the huge drill bit slowly descending with the light. He shouted loudly with all his strength. Such a resounding and powerful cry reawakened the hope of everyone's rebirth once again. Original, after the drill bit deviated, I didn't choose to give up, but learn from it. Utilize the last deviation value, understand the density of the rocks inside, and re-drill from areas with lower density, thereby reducing the drilling time. The miners were happily tapping on the drill bit and spray paint on it. Even tied a note, tell the people above, they're still alive. After the rescue team received the note, excited, firm belief and determination to give up, always able to create one miracle after another. Even the president proudly raised the note, speak loudly, accompanied by various supplies being sent to shelters. The survival of the miners has finally been guaranteed. In the following time, the rescue team needs larger drilling equipment. Drill out a life pipeline that people can pass through, but this is bound to be a huge project. On the 50th day, rescue encountered difficulties again. They crawled into the bedroom of a shelter. The drilling progress of the support beam is also hindered. Meanwhile, the safety officer also discovered this issue through the drawings. The drill bit is too close to the steel structure support beam. Not only will it increase the difficulty of drilling, it may also cause secondary landslides. The miners believe they can carry out directional blasting, although this is very dangerous. But it's also the only way currently. They are all ready to go out. Take control of your destiny in your own hands. Must take another risk. With a loud bang, they successfully cleared a life passage obstructing the drill bit. Final. After 69 days, a life passage has finally been built. As the life buoy slowly lowers, but everyone's hearts were raised to their throats. Because of directional blasting, the 700,000-ton boulder has loosened again. There's a possibility of falling again at any time, and the first person to board the lifeboat, although there are huge risks involved. But it could also be the only survivor. Fortunately, after experiencing a long 700-meter journey, the first survivor was slowly pulled out of the ground. Everyone is cheering and jumping, weeping with joy, under everyone's expectations. 33 miners, no one fell, all safely returning home. This film is based on the real event of the mine disaster in Copiapo, Chile in 2010. 33 miners trapped 700 meters underground. After a long and dark 6 to 9 days, during which all were rescued, San's help has played a vital role. Let the radiance of human nature once again create a miracle of rescue in human history.